Yo, what's poppin'? Welcome to Bhroman Braapsody. This is where we review cars and motorcycles. Today, I'm at Select Cycles in Greensboro, North Carolina with Ryan. Ryan, how are you, sir?
What's up, Bhroman?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful. Beautiful day to be riding motorcycle.
It's a beautiful day to be riding motorcycle. Exactly on my drive in, it's a beautiful, crisp day. The sun's out. What else could you ask for, right?
That's right.
And what is this? What do we have in front of us? This beautiful, beautiful motorcycle.
We have a 2021 Rocket 3R.
The 2021 Triumph Rocket 3R. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the bike, see some of its cool features. I'll take it out on the road, share my thoughts with you guys, talk about the cost of ownership, and assign it a Bhromance score. But before we do all of that, if you're new to Bhroman, give us a like and hit that subscribe button. We put out content every week, and your support would mean a lot. It's me, it's your boy Bro, and I am your Bhroman. I don't remember the Triumph Rockets looking this way before. The previous generation, they were the big bulky ones with the big engine, right?
Yeah. This one's all new. Frame up.
Looks like it's done CrossFit or something, right? It's completely transformed itself.
Lean and mean,
Lean
for sure.
and mean, lost all the bulk, all the weight. But there's a bunch of aluminum parts on this bike, the wheels, the subframe, all of that. And the Rocket 3s have been around for a while, and so has Triumph, right?
Yes, sir, since 1902.
Since 1902, okay. So they are probably one of the oldest motorcycle brands that are still in existence today.
Absolutely they are.
So 1901 Indian, 1902 Triumph, 1903 Harley.
That's right.
Ooh, it still has the largest production motorcycle engine, right? The 2450 odd cc triple?
Yes, sir.
You know it's a Triumph if it's got a triple. That's kind of their calling card.
Triple has a ton of character, a lot of low-end torque, and you can spin it up to the moon. It's a beautiful combination of the two.
And they've perfected this over decades and decades and decades of production and whatnot. And speaking of power and low-end torque, this puts out 165 horses, 163 foot-pound of torque.
Man, it's how it delivers the power to you. It's a beautiful thing. So the way this bike delivers power is a nice, smooth, linear power band on there. So there's lots of bikes out there that produce a ton of horsepower, but you can't ride them in town, stoplight to stoplight. It's just terrible going stoplight, stoplight, stoplight. It wants to go really, really fast. This bike comes right off the line, super easy, but when you want it to be there, it's like a light switch. Comes on fast and hard for you.
Nice, so it's got a little Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde personality thing going on as well.
A little bit like all of us, right?
No, I like it. No, see, so this bike definitely went through a breakup because it's reinvented itself. It's found itself. It knows what it's good at, what it's got to offer.
Yeah.
It's not trying to be anyone else anymore.
That's right.
And this has got a lot of technology too, right? Like, I think some of them are optional packages.
Yeah.
But you can pair your GoPro and Google Maps.
Absolutely.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, turn-by-turn navigation right there on your beautiful screen that comes up. Control your rider headset, everything like that.
Man, they've thought about everything. If someone wanted to get into one of these, what's the price range that we're looking for?
They started about $22,000.
About $22,000. So that's a decent price point.
Absolutely.
This looks very different from any other cruiser you'll see on the road. Like I keep saying, it's gone through its CrossFit phase. Like maybe it went through a breakup or something, and it decided that it needs to change itself, reinvent itself.
Definitely.
It did its CrossFit, now it's all buff and stuff. But it still retains some elements of that old Rocket, like the dual headlamps, 2500cc triple, producing all that power in the big fat tire.
Yes, sir.
And it's amazing. And it's also a shaft drive, 6-speed shaft drive.
Low maintenance.
Low maintenance. There you go. It's worked on itself, done some self-love, self-care.
Certainly, man.
And look at it now. Everybody wants it.
That's right.
You mind if we do a quick walk around and show some of the features?
Sure, let's go for it.
You got the dual headlamps up front, a bob fender, and check this out. Check this attention to detail, guys. You have the body colored fender, but you have the brushed aluminum fenders on the side that go over the radiators, your triple mount, the headlight bezels, all over. It looks beautiful. It's got this big fat bobber style tire up front, dual discs with Brembo brakes. This has a 27.9 degree rake angle, which is down from 32 of the previous generation. What's the rake angle, you ask? Well, draw perpendicular from the steering mount, follow the fork tube. That angle is your rake angle. Shorter the rake angle, the more nimble the bike is, and larger the rake angle, the more stable it is at higher speeds and highway speeds and such. Walking further along, you see those headers coming out. Those are the triple. That's the beautiful liquid-cooled 2500cc engine, the largest production engine on a motorcycle today. And looking down below, now this is R, but you can have the GT setup done to this. So you see those little spots there that's covered up by that piece? You could put the GT foot pegs in there. It even tells you it's a Rocket 3R. Single-sided swing arm, so you can see the wheel, the tire. Now this has a passenger seat, but where are the passenger pegs? I don't see passenger pegs. Well, they've done a beautiful job of hiding the passenger pegs. This right here folds down. Boom. Those are your passenger foot pegs. Done with it, you want to move it out of the way, fold it back in, and it seamlessly integrates with the bike and the design. Coming over to the back, you have that beautiful tail light, LEDs of course, turn signals, license plate holder. Moving to the side, shaft drive. Similarly, the foot pegs are hidden and stowed neatly in there. If you turn this out, that's the dipstick for your engine oil. Neatly hidden under this little cap. You can turn your ignition on or off from the side. Speaking of ignition, this has keyless ignition. So this is your key fob. I love this little aluminum insert right in the middle that matches the gas cap cover. Let's talk about handlebar controls. It's got the bar and mirrors on both sides. Stock. High beam, low beam on your left. Cruise control buttons, riding modes, turn signals, horn, and this is to toggle through the menu. On the right hand side, we have the lock button, hazards, your ignition and starter button. And down below is the home. Now to turn this bike on, as long as your ignition is turned on, you want to hit the power switch once, and that comes up. I like that little graphic there. And boom, check that out. In the middle, we have a digital tachometer, digital speedometer. You have a little engine graphic there. How cool is that? And on either side of this main screen, you have two little screens. On your right, it gives you the time, outside temperature, odometer, timer, how long has this bike been running for, etc., and your cruise control. And on the left, you have your digital fuel gauge. And on top, you have lights here for your turn signals, neutral, ABS, and check engine, and the oil life light. Now let's look at the menu here. So if we press the home button down below, changes to this, and you can go through riding modes, bike setup, trip setup, display setup, or reset to default. On the riding modes, you have 4 riding modes. You have the rider, rain, road, and sport. You go into bike setup. You have hill hold, indicators, traction control, and service. And in display setup, you have your theme, your brightness, visible trays, gear shift indicator. You could add your rider name, and that way when the bike starts up and it says good morning rider, it'll say good morning whatever your name is. Now to get out of this menu, just press the home button again and boom, you're back. Now if you're riding along the road and you want to change the riding modes, just press this button, the M button on the side, and then you get the riding modes on the left side of your screen. So right now we're at road. You can go to rain, rider, or sport. How cool is that? Right on, man. That was amazing, Ryan. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me here. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about Select Cycle?
We've been here since 2003. And so the way that we started is I started in the automotive industry, working on cars and stuff like that. And the owner of the business came to me one day and he said, hey, I'm thinking of starting a motorcycle and scooter shop. What do you think about that? I said, well, my mom told me I could never have motorcycles or tattoos. So yes, that's definitely something I want to do.
So you got the motorcycle. Did you get the tattoos?
Oh yeah, I got the tattoos as well.
All right.
I cover them up now. Funny how that happens, isn't it? Triumph actually came to us and asked us to represent their brand.
That's awesome.
They came in one day and they liked the way they were treated and decided to start with us.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So yeah, come on down, check them out. I'll put their website link in the video description below. The staff here, they are super friendly. We have Ryan and everybody else. Check them out. They're in downtown Greensboro, beautiful downtown Greensboro. And when you come down here, who should they say send them to you?
The Bhroman!
Yes, the Bhroman sent you. Do you happen to know what time it is?
Is it right o'clock?
Yes, sir. It's right o'clock. Let's
do it.
go. So, if you guys are new to Bhroman, give us a like and hit that subscribe button. We put out content every week, and your support would mean a lot. So, to start the bike, press the power button. That brings up the screen. Then press this button once. To start these bikes, pull in the clutch, then the power button. Ooh, yeah. Let's go, let's go. Let's start off with our first test. Let's do a couple of U-turns and see how this puppy maneuvers. Huh. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Now this has a 66-inch wheelbase, and the weight of this bike, the 650 odd pounds, you don't feel any of it. I mean, the balance is so well done. Like, all of the weight is below the center line. Now it's time for a second test. Let's do a pull test. This is a cruiser? Say what? Ooh, yeah, boy. A Rocket 3 for sure. Rocket 3 for sure. That is incredible, you guys. That's incredible. So, first impressions of this bike. I don't have any sort of wind protection going on for me. There is new wind protection. So you get a lot of wind in your upper body, lower body, everywhere. This bike has a 30-inch seat height. I am 5'10", 31-inch inseam, and I can flat foot this puppy very, very easily. The balance on this bike is very cool. It's really stable. It's not trying to go one way or the other. That really helps. And the seat is very comfortable as well. I mean, it's got a nice cut to the seat, so yeah, I mean, a lot of support for your lower back and butt. I love these big mirrors. Oh, clear mirrors. And today it's a beautiful day in North Carolina. I think it's in the 50s, but it's sunny, so it's a beautiful day to ride. The handlebars, this is the R, not the GT, so the handlebars aren't quite pulled back towards you, but it's not like you have to reach out for them or lean over them, none of that. It's a good position. It's a good position. As for your legs, my legs aren't bent weirdly. These have the mid-mounted control, so it's right down there. They're not uncomfortable. It's quite good. And just check out that engine tone. The suspension on this bike seems pretty cool. It eats up a lot of the bumps. We went over some railway tracks. I felt a couple of them, but they weren't bad. They weren't bad at all. Sound of the exhaust, the engine, they make a nice throaty sound. The better do, it's a 2500cc. It's only a 2500cc, which just happens to be bigger than a lot of the cars that are out there. A lot of your 2-liter cars, 1.8-liter turbocharged cars, yeah, this engine's bigger than those. So we have it in sport mode. Let me go change the mode. Let's try out rain mode. You can feel the engine just, and it's like ready to go. It's like, come on, let's go, man. What you doing, fool? Let's go. Okay, so the power delivery is actually very smooth in rain mode. It's not trying to kill you. So it's cut down a little bit, of course, because it's rain mode. It's supposed to stop you from spinning your wheels or doing stupid stuff in wet conditions. But yeah, it's a good job on the rain mode. The other thing this bike comes standard with is cornering ABS, and cornering traction control. So those are some cool features to have on a bike. A lot of these high-end sports bikes have those, and it's really good to see that Triumph has put those features on the Rocket 3. Now, could this bike be your daily commuter? Yes, you could. Seat is comfy, gobs of power, good suspension, and it's not a big, bulky, heavy bike, so yeah, it could be great for commuting. Now, this does not have saddlebags, or it doesn't come with saddlebags. I think you can get aftermarket saddlebags, or maybe Triumph makes some saddlebags. But if not, if you don't want to mess with the bike's aesthetics, you could just carry a backpack. Now, would this bike be good for touring? You should be able to tour on this, but I'd say short to medium distances. If you want to do a really, really long tour, long road trip, you would need some fairings, some wind protection, saddlebags, a lot of storage space, and that's my opinion. That's what I like in my touring bikes. This does not have all of that. You don't get a lot of wind protection and all of that, and no storage space. So you could do some touring. I'm not sure you could go really long distance touring on this. Now, how about beginners? It's the good bike for beginners. Sure, yeah, a motorcycle that's putting out 165 horses, 163 pound-feet of torque, weighs less than 700 pounds. Sure, it's a great bike for beginners. Yeah, no. This is not a bike for beginners. If you're a beginner, you want a bike that's light, not super powerful, and something that's not very expensive either. So, not a beginner bike. Well, let's head to the punk and talk about the cost of ownership, shall we?
So this bike requires a yearly maintenance, and the yearly maintenance is about $320 at your Triumph dealership, and the major services are at the 10,000 mile interval. So you have the first service at 10,000 and the second at 20,000. The 20,000 mile service is a big one. They do the valve adjustments, valve check, and all of that fun stuff. And the 10,000 mile service costs about $380, and the 20,000 mile service would cost you around $750. The tires on this motorcycle should last you close to 10,000 miles, but a lot of it is going to depend upon how you ride it. The more you rip it, the quicker the tires are going to go. A set of these tires should be around $720, including installation and all that fun stuff. So over a 2-year period, assuming you ride 5,000 miles a year, you would need the 2 yearly services. And the first yearly service is also the break-in service at 500 miles, and a set of new tires along with the 10,000 mile service. That's a total of $1,740. Divided by the number of days, it's about $2.40 a day. Let's assign it a score, shall we? On the looks, it's a 9 out of 10. On the Braap, it's a 9 out of 10. On the maintenance, it's 7.5 out of 10. And on the comfort, it's an 8.5 out of 10. For a combined Bhromance score of 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, vroom, 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 for sure. Let's go. Oh my god, I'm telling you, man. See, motorcycling to me means one thing. Like, it should really bring out the child in you, or at least, make the child in you so giggly and giddy. So in conclusion, this is the Triumph Rocket 3R. I love the finish of the bike. I like the seating position, all of that. This is definitely not a bike for beginners, and not very conducive to long distance touring, but you could do some touring, and you can ride it within the city, or you could just keep ripping it up
on the highways, or maybe even take him to some nice twisties and have fun with it. Well, if you're in the market looking for a Triumph Rocket 3 and you're really not sure if it's the bike for you, well, head on down to your closest Triumph dealership and check one out for yourself. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Well, thanks for watching, you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bro out.